Formula One, the pinnacle of motorsport. With a global audience and drama to match, all the attention is now on race circuits around the world, waiting for the start of the fastest show on Earth. Last year's regulation changes saw closer on-track battles. Anyone expecting a smooth ride from the 2023 season is in for a shock. With a shake-up in the paddock resulting in the signing of several new team principals, F1 is primed and ready to light up the world stage. Team principals will already be talking tactics, boosting the confidence of their drivers and ensuring their pit crews make those box times as tight as possible. With a new era of racing now well underway, more teams than ever will be vying for points, podiums, and a chance at the championship. This is Formula One. Red Bull took the F1 world by storm in 2022, defending their Drivers' Championship title and bringing home the Constructors' Championship for the first time since 2013. The new season will see the continuation of Dream Team, Max Verstappen and Sergio Perez. They're flying high on the back of their success, but they can't afford to rest on their laurels if they want to dominate 2023 in the way they did last year. On paper, Ferrari had a stellar season in 2022, taking home second place in both the Drivers' and Constructors' Championships. But some high-profile errors marred their year, and second place felt like a poor consolation prize to what really could have been. Returning in 2023 with drivers Charles Leclerc and Carlos Sainz and a new team principal at the helm, they need to fix those past mistakes to be in with a chance of claiming that top spot. 2022 was a tough year for Mercedes. Taking home third in the Constructors' Championship, they broke their 8-year winning streak, and although they eventually made up for an early slow start, it was too little, too late. The team returned this season once again with the all-British driver pairing of Lewis Hamilton and George Russell, and they'll be aiming to claim back the crown. They've done it before, and they know exactly what it's going to take to do it again. In Alpine's debut 2021 season, they finished 5th in the championship, and in their 2022 run, they claimed 4th. But will the loss of veteran driver Fernando Alonso stall their entry into the top 3 this season? Or will Esteban Ocon, alongside fellow countryman Pierre Gasly, a new transfer to the team, be the fuel they need to break through? Only time and racing excellence will tell. A frustrating finish last season for McLaren, who ended 5th in the Constructors' Championship, down a place from the year before. They return for 2023 with Lando Norris, the only driver outside the top 3 teams to earn a podium in 2022, and the highly sought-after rookie, Oscar Piastri. With this ambitious lineup behind the wheel, McLaren are set to fight their way back up the grid this season. Alfa Romeo showed off their fighting spirit in 2022, battling their way to 6th in the Constructors' Championship, with an all-new driver pairing of Valtteri Bottas and Zhou Guanyu. The pair have proven they've got what it takes, and in 2023, they'll be returning to the track and looking to push their way back up the grid. The Hinwil team begin the new season expecting to face tough competition from those battling it out in a very tight midfield. Aston Martin ended the 2022 season in 7th place, although 6th was almost within their grasp. Alongside significant investment and state-of-the-art facilities, this year could be their chance to shine. They've traded one multiple championship-winning driver for another by signing Fernando Alonso after Sebastian Vettel's retirement. And with Lance Stroll rounding out their lineup, Aston Martin are primed to push their way up the standings. Last season, 8th in the Constructors' Championship, an improvement over past years, but still far from desired. With Nico Hülkenberg returning to F1 to join the team, as well as Kevin Magnussen continuing in his seat, Haas have opted for a more experienced driver pairing on the grid in 2023. With the team's trademark perseverance, they'll be eager to convert that experience and passion into valuable points. It was a disappointing end to the 2022 season for AlphaTauri, leaving them in 9th, their lowest finish since taking on the new name. But they can't afford to dwell on disaster if they're going to battle their way back up the standings. Now with the signing of Nick de Vries alongside returning driver Yuki Tsunoda, it's time for AlphaTauri to shake off last year's troubles and prove they've got what it takes. 10th in the Constructors' Championship is not where Williams would have chosen to end 2022, but that won't stop them fighting. Debutant Logan Sargent joins for the new season after a stellar F2 performance, driving alongside his more experienced teammate Alex Albon. With the right leadership, the team is set to come out swinging in 2023.
You must be our new team principal. It's so great to meet you. I'm Audrey, one of the team engineers. I'm happy to show you around. Here at Ferrari, we came so close last season. Taking home second in both championships is not to be sniffed at, but you know we're never going to settle for second best. I hope you're as ready as we are to reach the top of both tables this year. In this area, you have a centralised view of what a team principal needs to keep track of. The board sets season objectives for the team to achieve. Reaching them will help keep confidence high, so be sure to familiarise yourself with what's expected. You'll want to keep an eye on the long-term objective for beyond this season as well. You'll always be able to see what the team's next race is from here, and how long you have left to prepare. Our next Grand Prix will be the first of the season. As it's your first day, though, there's nothing urgent for you to address. Feel free to explore more, or you can select continue and sign off for the day. Once you do, time will pass, but don't worry about missing anything. You'll automatically sign back in if an important event comes up. Here's your inbox. Watch out for any email alerts. They appear when you've got an important email awaiting a response. You can take a look at sponsorship performance targets here. Here we've got the performance targets for this coming weekend. If we meet these targets, we'll gain extra revenue. If we don't meet the target, it won't cost the team anything. Improving our cars is a constant process if we want to stay competitive against our rivals. New car parts are initially designed in-house by the team. They can then be manufactured and installed on either car. If you want to install a new car part on a car, it's worth taking the time to compare the stats of the new part with the stats of the one already installed. You might also want to check out which stats are crucial for the next race and select parts most suited to that circuit. Any aerodynamic parts will undergo an inspection following every race weekend. If an aero parts condition is too low, it will fail the inspection and need replacing. Let's introduce you to the team drivers. They're under contract with us for the season, and their professional development and race performance will make or break us as a team. Each driver has their own strengths, as well as areas to improve. These statistics will all affect different aspects of their driving ability. Any driver who participates in a race weekend is going to gain more experience and improve over time. You'll want to keep an eye on drivers' morale as the season progresses. The higher a driver's morale, the higher their performance for the team. A driver's morale will also affect their confidence on the track. Each race driver has an assigned race engineer who will communicate to the driver when they're in the cockpit. A driver and race engineer pairing with a higher affinity will work better together, especially important during a high-pressure race weekend. To ensure your team is developing as desired, you can set up a targeted development plan for any of your drivers. If you want to direct your staff to focus on specific areas of their development, you can do so here. It's not just the fastest car that makes a team the best in F1. It's the people doing the hard work behind the scenes. Manage your staff from here, from department heads to your pit crew, and keep up to date on their performance. Check here to see what your sporting director has planned for the pit crew. You can also come up with a detailed development plan of your own for them. After all, the pit crew are the ones who can save valuable seconds for our drivers. We have an excellent scouting team, and their job is to scout potential new staff members for the team. You never know what hidden gem they might be able to uncover. You can direct the scouts to carry out a standard or detailed scouting of a potential staff member, depending on the turnaround and information you need. If you think someone could be a good fit for the team, feel free to propose a contract. Just make sure you have a good idea of what they will accept in a negotiation first. From here, you can see all the team's facilities, from the staff buildings to the car parts warehouse. You can build new facilities, or, if the team has the time and money, upgrade our existing ones. Facilities affect all areas of our team's performance. Over time, facilities will degrade and become less effective. so keep an eye on their condition. When this happens, we'll need to look at refurbishing or even upgrading that facility to get back to maximum efficiency. The board are the ones who set the expectations for the team. If they're confident in your leadership, you'll be fine. If they lose confidence in you, however, they might look to replace you. Don't forget to check in with the board often and take note of their confidence levels, as well as the team's progress towards a greater rating. Running an F1 team is expensive, and careful finance management is essential. You can see our current balance here. Most of the team's budget is decided by the board at the start of the season. There's also whatever income we get from last season's prize money and any extra sponsorship revenue we earn. Whenever you're making financial decisions, make sure you're considering our cost cap. It's a mandatory spending cap on team transactions, with certain exceptions. If we go over the cost cap, whether intentionally or by accident, the team will receive a fine. Pit crew are a vital part of our team. Their reliability and speed can make a big difference to a race outcome. When they're back at HQ in between races, the pit crew can train to improve in different areas. The pit crew development plan will focus on a balanced training approach, but you can give them further instruction and focus on a specific area. The pit crew are always so busy training. You can access the team's training schedule through the calendar, and from there customize the current plan right down to a daily breakdown. Just bear in mind that as the pit crew's job, and therefore training, is very physical, they can become fatigued and as a result more prone to making mistakes. Remember, the constructor with the highest number of fastest pit stops will win the DHL Fastest Pit Stop Award at the end of the year. Once you're happy with the pit crew training schedule, make sure to confirm it.
Welcome to Sakir. Doesn't it feel good to be back? The beginning of a brand new Formula One season. Every team, every driver, whether rookies or champions, all start here on zero, ahead of another year's battle for glory. Bahrain is known for high tyre degradation, as the asphalt here is so abrasive. The drivers are facing many low to medium speed corners, and any heavy braking will inevitably take its toll on the tyres. There's now a rookie on the McLaren team, which is both an opportunity and a challenge. Stay right here, because we're just getting started.
Welcome to your first race weekend with the team. A normal race weekend starts with 3 practice sessions, a knockout qualifying session, and then the race itself. Later in the season, we'll encounter some different formats, such as a sprint weekend. Once you're ready, we can move on. Over here is our race preparation area. This is where you can make any changes you need ahead of the upcoming practice session. The team will put together a run plan for the session, but you can review and make changes to it. Bear in mind that tyre usage during practice will impact what tyres will be available for qualifying and the race. Feel free to look at the run plan and the different options available. Then we can move on when you're ready. During race weekends, you can decide whether you want to manage the practice sessions yourself or whether to hand over control to your team. As it's your first race weekend, you should let the team handle the practice sessions. To help maximise our drivers' performance, the team and you on future weekends will have them work on 3 goals during practice: track acclimatisation, car parts knowledge, and car setup. Having your drivers progress towards these 3 goals will improve their preparation level, which will then affect their confidence across the whole race weekend. Whenever you manage practice yourself, use the time to experiment with the balance of the car and make sure you give the drivers long enough on track to feed back on their car setup.
We're moving on now to the all-important qualifying session.
Qualifying consists of 3 periods, with the slowest drivers eliminated after each one. With the pressure mounting, who can secure a strong starting position for the race?
Now, Karun, how do you think Zhou Guanyu will be as he heads into this session?
The main thing on my mind was their speed in practice. They just weren't that fast. But was that down to the driver, the car, the team experimenting? We don't know, and we'll just have to see how they fare in qualifying.
And it's almost time for qualifying. You won't want to miss that.
Right, time for qualifying. Our results here will determine where we start on the grid for Sunday's race. Qualifying takes place over 3 knockout rounds, and only the fastest drivers will advance each time. Same as practice, the team can handle qualifying for you if you like. Let's get you hands-on for this round though, just to make sure you're feeling confident before race day kicks off. Our drivers need to be setting their fastest possible lap times, so we can advance to the next period of qualifying. The slowest 5 cars will be sitting the rest of qualifying out. Right then. Let's get a car out on the track for its first run and see how it goes.
checkup.
Loud and clear.
Can you hear me?
Yes, confirm. Keep warming up the brakes.
Copy. Focus on tire temps. Copy.
A driver's confidence level can be impacted throughout a race weekend, both negatively and positively by on-track events. You can keep an eye on each driver's confidence level here. A driver with higher confidence will have an increased performance and a lower risk of on-track incidents. A driver with lower confidence will see a decrease in performance and have a higher risk of on-track incidents happening. I know everything happens so fast over a race weekend, but if you need to catch your breath, you can pause for as long as you like. Of course, if things aren't moving fast enough for you, you can speed things up instead. The map view here gives you a good overview of the whole track and all the cars. Each car is also fitted with a number of onboard cameras, so you can view the race from different vantage points. Remember, you're managing 2 drivers throughout the session, so make sure to keep an eye on both of them. You can even watch from the driver's visor cam, which will really get you up close and personal with all the race action. Great! That's our first flying lap in the bank. Keep an eye on the stand-ins throughout the session to make sure we stay out of the elimination zone. When your flying laps are finished, the driver will automatically return to the garage.
And stay negative on the dash. And stay negative.
Our driver has returned to the garage. Here you can see all the available tyre compounds for the weekend. You need to use at least 2 different compounds during a dry race.
So at the moment you are P5.
We're through to Q2. Great work. In Q2, the fastest 15 cars from Q1 battle it out for only 10 places in Q3. Now let's push even harder for a place in Q3.
Currently P4.
At the moment you are P3, P3. So that's a good lap time.
Working on tires. Copy.
And we need you to push this out lap.
Copy that. Clear in front. We can push.
And track is clear, track clear. And charge button off for last corner, charge button off.
Currently P3.
You are flying out there, very good pace. So at the moment you are P1.
in the pack.
And P1.
Let's go!
The time has almost come for our drivers to fight it out wheel to wheel. Race day has arrived.
Bahrain has seen some of the most dramatic races in F1, like Sergio Perez's incredible 2020 victory, surging ahead from being last on the opening lap. The weather is beautifully clear tonight, which is one less problem for the teams to face. Of course, that doesn't take anything away from the unpredictability of this race.
And there's going to be a lot for the teams to handle. So will the drivers and their cars be able to deal with the pressure here in Bahrain?
A single set of tyres will wear down completely before the end of the race. So we're going to need to make at least one pit stop per driver to change tyres at some point. Don't forget, each pit stop taken will add time to that lap. So we need to think carefully about when to pit and why. You should consider setting a tyre strategy for each driver ahead of the race. We need to make sure we have a good plan for when we want the cars to pit. Every race weekend, the team will prepare some recommended strategies to choose from. Let's see what they suggest for this race. You can take a look over the different recommended strategies here. If you like the look of one of the team's suggestions, you can go ahead and select it now. If you think a different approach could work, you can make changes to any of the team strategies or even create one from scratch. We can always adapt our strategy during the race, so we can respond quickly to changing conditions and stay ahead of the pack. Once you're happy with one strategy, check in with the other driver to confirm theirs as well. You should consider picking a different strategy for each driver. This gives us a chance to take advantage of in-race events and means we won't have both cars pitting on the same lap.